$500,000 bodily injury per person, $300,000 per incident, and $100,000 per occurrence. Once again, the fireworks company provides the liability insurance for each permit.
Is this the same cost per man hour as last year?
It went up $100 because the cost of minimum wage went up, and the coverage rate is based on minimum wage.
That's fair.
So, we'll do board comment first. I actually have it done.
Okay.
My recollection is that we amended the insurance requirements last year to be 1 million, 3 million, and 1 million, did we not?
This was a boilerplate from last year's ordinance.
I don't recall making any changes to the insurance.
Before it was 10,000, I believe. This is just literally a cut and paste from last year's staff report with the adjustment to the cost for manning the booth.
Let me check the resolution from last year really quick.
What are you asking?
What's that?
A million per incident?
1 million, 1 million, 3 million, 1 million. So 1 million in bodily
What's
injury,
that?
3 million each occurrence, with property damage liability, not less than a million.
Okay, I'm checking the
Last
signed
year's
ordinance
1,200.
or resolution here.
Correct me
Actually,
if
because he
I'm-
might have gotten a, so I got $1,250, 500 cleanup. And this says no less than 1 million per person and 3 million for each occurrence. Annually, and with a limit of property damage liability of no less than $1 million for each occurrence. So is that different than what you guys have now?
Yeah, it's 100,000.
Yeah, 100,000, 300,000.
Okay, so what ended up happening
I see what you're
is we
saying.
took the old stuff from last year and we amended it for the resolution, so I'm looking at the signed resolution.
Yep.
So this needs to mirror that.
We do have a vote.
It's 100,000, not a million.
No, it's a
No,
million.
it's,
Huh?
Should be a million.
1 million, 3 million, yeah.
Mine says 100,000.
Yeah, it needs to be amended. Yes.
That's
Right.
what, yes, I agree.
We amended it last
I
year.
thought you were saying we changed from
No, no.
the million, it's always been a million for
I actually have the wrong ordinance number too.
19 years,
this resolution,
18 years.
yes, so this is 2019-08, this is from last year. Not the ordinance, he's dealing with, I'm dealing with the resolution that you guys passed last year. It was amended by Director Sangster at the time.
I'll make a motion to approve
Hold on.
amending, oh, you have more.
And he's got more. I'm gonna print this though, so yeah.
So on the resolution, item number 1, it says in words, stated a $1,250, and then in parentheses, a $1,350 non-refundable permit fee. Those need to be the same.
Where do you see that?
On the resolution, page 141 of the packet, page 1 of 2, resolution 2019-09. Item number 1, it says a $1,250.
Change the dollar but not the words.
Yes,
$1,250 non-refundable rent fee.
so the words need to match the dollar figure in parentheses, and the insurance amounts need to be amended.
Yeah, the dates are wrong too. The board of directors meeting in regular session on February 21st, 2019.
Yes.
This whole thing's bad.
You know what? I think I had
No
two
more cut and
copies.
pasting.
I believe I had 2 copies, and I think I sent the wrong one
And you need
forward.
like 3 more employees.
Because I had a working copy. This one has
Can
the
we
same.
pass this like this, or should we bring it back?
So here's the one that was passed last year.
Yeah.
Make
The second
the,
one, and that's
we
what
can make the changes right now and pass it.
Yeah, let's make the changes. I gave him the one that,
I'm good with it.
There's so
I
many
can
things
make
on the
some
next agenda already.
Okay.
yeah. I can make some
You
more
got that
copies
one
of this
here.
real quick. Let me make a couple more.
I don't know if you'll have it next one.
This ordinance we have
Do you wanna make a
from
motion?
Board president
2013.
around here. Have an idol?
This one was, this is the one that passed last year.
Hey,
And
we
it
have to kind of
got
clock
with
it. It's
the
not 10
detail.
o'clock yet. We are making progress.
It's the board president.
We're knocking it out, man. All right, do you want to make a motion, or would you like me to make a motion?
I feel a little uncomfortable at this.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on a second, let me get
Yeah.
passionate and then we'll have.
Yep.
Here you go. You know, mine.
Me?
Anybody. I don't want one.
Here, Young.
I have it on digital.
That's the one who's on the changes.
Computer, pull my desktop.
Sale use of fireworks, establish. Erin knows she can speak up, right? No, we're doing something wrong.
You can point that out, Eric.
Yes, please do.
I was just sent Rob some text next month with additional photos and
Can't
that
understand a word she's saying.
resolution.
Are you able to pull back from the mic a little bit? You're breaking up.
Sorry.
There you go.
That's better. Yeah.
I had texted Rob because there were additional typographic errors that I noticed as well in the resolution.
She texted you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's, we've seen that under the resolution on the date and the
Yeah.
ordinance number.
So that first part, meeting regular session the 21st of 2013, that's when that ordinance was passed.
Yeah, I know we're
Yeah.
working with that, but we're
Well-
going to meet regular session.
No.
Yeah, well, we're revising
What?
that entire resolution.
Why don't you redo it and put it on the consent agenda next month?
I have one question. If we're gonna redo this and put it out, when is the application gonna be out?
Yep, the application period is, stated on there is March 4th through April 24th.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's,
So it needs to be done tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I apologize for the debacle.
I see what you said.
Okay,
So, now the ordinance on the staff, just one,
Page 2 of the signature line.
so you need to do
Yes,
it
figure it
this
out.
wrong, because, right, Scott?
O2
We're gonna do
20
this.
O2 2019 defines the fireworks sales, and we have a whole section in that ordinance, that's why that's called out.
Yes,
That's not wrong.
so pretty much this ordinance that I have in front of me is going to be 2020 dash 07. You see any dates?
so,
Or do we need to
so
change? So 1, 2, 3, is there any changes there?
So we're reflecting the ordinance, and the ordinance is correct then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the ordinance is O2 19, that's
So
the,
the date where we're talking about the foregoing resolution is hereby passed by roll call vote and adopted this 28th day of February of 2019. Today's the 27th and it's 2020, so that needs to be revised.
Mm-hmm.
Further, the item number 1 on the resolution needs to reflect a $1,350 in the
Okay.
text words of that.
Okay,
And under item 3, the insurance limits need to reflect $1 million, $3 million, and $1 million.
okay.
Yeah, we need
Well, I would motion to approve as amended.
Yeah.
Let me see what, you get it, Scott?
yeah, I got them all highlighted on my copy.
Okay. Okay, so I got a Sangster. Got a second?
That was a train wreck.
Cox.
What's that?
Did you see page 2?
Yeah.
Director Calvins,
Yes.
Director Palafox,
Yes.
Director Green,
Abstain.
President Sangster.
Yes.
Passes 3-0 with 1 abstain, as amended. And we'll just go through this before it gets something through.
It is. There's a final amendment, the
Oh, what you got?
president would read me rather than John Reed.
Yeah, we'll be changing.
Scott got it.
We'll do that.
Oh, I abstain.
You sign it.
Okay.
I see what happened. Yeah, sorry, Scott, I helped.
Oh,
In not a good way.
I'm pretty sure multiple copies go next to the wrong one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Fire Department Temporary Housing Unit continuation. And Scott Dunn has done further information and has more information for
Okay.
Hopefully with less errors this time.
Yes.
I'll land on the certificate here.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, basically I just provided more information to continue moving forward with a temporary housing unit for the fire department staff, so we could actually provide 24-hour coverage on days when Rob and I are not available to assist in the need, and have possibly other captains come in from different agencies to assist us. So nothing has changed in that area, with the exception of what we'd like to proceed with the Yellowstone cabin unit. So I have a bunch of attachments, and you'll see all the numbers are different now because we moved the item to item 10, but at any rate, I have a series of floor plans, so that would be 10-1, and work order items, layouts of the individual structures that can be provided. The unfortunate thing about these is they're kind of one-trick ponies. It's not an apples to apples thing in the sense that they're both Granny Smiths. One's a Granny Smith apple and one's a Red Delicious apple. They're not quite the same. The Yellowstone cabin version that is laid out on the floor plan that's attached, it would be the final version that they would send. This version has two air conditioning systems, one for each space, water heaters. The bunk beds have been removed to provide a space for a small desk, so work can be done there. On page 146, that's basically the work order for the unit, giving you the details of what it would contain. It's pretty much a no frills. It's not going to have, you know, whistles and bells and marble countertops. It's pretty basic, cut and dry. They were able to keep the price very close to the original cost. We did back some things out, so it came through at a $43,000 price tag. They did have a $12,987 shipping cost. So that gives you a total price of $55,987 for the Yellowstone cabin unit. I contacted, there below that you'll see the work order confirmation email from Classic Cabins, Harry Cobb. The next item is a floor plan that would be a modified unit based on a provided floor plan that the mobile home sales in Paso Robles would be able to provide. Like I said, it's not an apples to apples thing. This is a different unit. It's wider. They can't provide that 12-foot wide unit, kind of the mobile park trailer system. It's 40 feet long. It does have two living areas, two bedroom areas with separate bathrooms, which is, you know, our preferable layout, but there's this common centralized area which is more problematic to kind of maintain. There's a cost estimate from the mobile home sales representative. They had a $66,000 price tag to that with some factory options. $17,000 dealer acquisition fee, pretty much right. They're telling you how much they're going to make, $10,000. It comes to $94,000, and then another $1,000 escrow fees because they're treating it like a permanent home kind of situation. So we have some extra cost in that. It comes up to $95,000, which is almost a $100,000 price tag to get this unit on site. Both units have an attractive resale value. I think that the Yellowstone unit would be more of an easy sell when it comes time to surplus it. I'm hoping, you know, just swinging a bat, we might be able to recover 60 to 70% of our initial cost when we sell it. It depends on how long the unit stays in place, and that's, you know, hinging upon how long it takes to complete the wastewater treatment plant and move forward with the potential remodel of the existing fire station. Speaking to the utility supervisor, Kelly informed me that we don't have a proper flow to get sewage from where the trailer will be located to the line that's out in the street. The line out in the street is only at an 18-inch depth, so we don't have the proper flow. So to solve that, there's a Liberty Pumps brochure. That's just a small little compact pump station. It'll more than meet the need for the structure. And the price tag has been included. There's a data sheet, simple 110 wiring. minimum depth. It comes with an $1,100 price tag, $1,156 price tag. There are other units that are less costly, within a couple $100s. So the price tag to get the sewage from the unit to the street, in my opinion, isn't a great cost, and it would have to be installed with anything we put out there. I also have on page 162 an estimate from Howard Baldwin from Baldwin Electric to come in. He looked at the electrical components that we have on the existing structure, the existing fire station, and he's found a way to tie it into the solar and the generator, and that has a $1,050.65 price tag for the electrical connection. The last image on page 163 was the original layout of the Yellowstone cabin showing the two entrances, which had these bunk bed components. It did not have the air conditioning systems or the Insta-Hot gas-fired water heaters. And that's it. So my request is to move forward with the intent of potentially using the Yellowstone unit rather than a modular home style unit. The next step would schedule another meeting with the county, take this actual plan down to the county, and have a plot plan drawn up by one of our local design professionals, write a narrative, and represent it to the county to make sure they're okay with something like this being installed adjacent to the station for its intended use of temporary fire department staff housing. Any questions?
Yes.
Tons.
So, first question, Mr. Young, is there not a distributor of this Yellowstone here on the West Coast?
Not that I could find. This, like I said, the classic cabin company they manufacture this. This is their one-trick pony. I haven't been able to find anything that is similar, and anything that is like this duplex model. That's why I contacted the mobile home sales professionals, and they were able to take a mobile home that they manufacture base model and modify it to be that kind of a duplex with the centralized kitchen. I'm sorry, the centralized living space kitchen.
Have you contacted Atlas Performance Industries, or API, in Santa Maria?
Have not. Are they a mobile home manufacturing company, or are they a trailer park?
They really do a lot more like job site trailers than they do modular homes.
Atlas?
API, or Atlas Performance Industries in Santa Maria. Freight cost of this is substantial. I'm guessing that is simple transportation, that includes no site prep, installation, foundation work, nothing.
No, that's FOB right there.
Okay.
And we would do the site prep and the other things. What I'm presenting to you today is not the intent to go buy this unit. It's the intent to present a unit of this caliber to the county rather than a full-on mobile home unit.
Right.
The only dollar request would be to spend a few dollars on plans to have a presentation to the county. Now, if we indeed say this is the style, this is what we want to do rather than a full-scale mobile home unit, then more effort will be put into trying to find somebody, maybe even local, who could provide us a unit similar to this. The next hurdle is, not convincing, but explaining to the county, it's been a long day and I'm sick, I'm sorry. Presenting this to the county in a manner that they could see with elevations what we're actually planning on doing, rather than, because this is basically a park trailer. It's a mobile park trailer on wheels situation.
Right. Okay. Other board comments?
And I guess if I could backtrack, the presentation of both price components were just a comparison as a park trailer versus a mobile home.
Right.
That was just a point for conversation. It wasn't an intent to say, hey, let's go out and spend $50,000 in this unit right now.
Is the square footage anywhere near the same?
They are not. The Yellowstone cabin unit is 12 foot wide, which is towable, and I believe it's 33 feet long, whereas the other unit is 14 feet wide and 40 feet long, and that was the smallest they were able to provide.
Okay, that makes sense. I was just, one of the things that caught my eye is 2-foot pocket door.
Yeah,
That's a turn sideways.
it's a small unit, but it's not there for comfort, it's there for necessity. And a 2-foot door is your bare minimum. And if you're in this unit by yourself, odds are you're not gonna need to close that door.
No, you need to get through it though.
Well,
Some days.
hopefully we have to maintain our figures and not get to the 2-foot wide door.
Oh, boy.
Is there other board comment?
The Redmond's homes, what's that one about? It has a 16,000,
Excuse me?
on page 154.
150.
Is that also another unit? Because at the very bottom on page 150.
153. Okay, so what they did is they provided a very poor scan, and that would be,
Those would be the options.
Is that another option?
that's their champion home builder. So that is the vendor that the mobile home sales would use to fabricate this trailer or this mobile home.
Yeah, so the 16,000
'Cause you can see-
would add to the 95?
I think that's part of it, because it says option total is 14,000 plus miscellaneous charges, and the total is 16,356. So is that not part of the manufactured home sales options?
Yes.
Yeah, factory option 7245, so it doesn't jive, but
That is their complete estimate. And like I said, it's information only. It's just to show that the trailer style size option, which is the preferred option, is far less costly than any mobile home option, by far. We're talking like almost 70 to 90% less. I think the setup is probably going to be a lot less as well, but you know, we're putting time into it, but I'm not investing a lot of time into it. It's just to move the ball forward, to keep going. The next step is to have a consensus on if you feel that this style is acceptable, and then present that style to the county. If you say this style is absolutely not percent, or we don't want to move forward with this, I'm not going to expend any more time.
okay. You have further board comment? Public comment?
You good?
Nope. Do we have a consensus from the board to move forward?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. 4 yeses.
Four yeses, who in favor? Okay.
With very little errors, thank you.
So we're moving on
What's
to
it, 9?
Rule 11.
I think this is the last.
9 is the new 11.
Thank God. Is this the last one?
It is.
Yes.
Okay,
This is
because
the
I've forgotten
last.
how to count now.
Right.
We got 11.
Well, that was smart, I should have done that.
It's just,
But they were
Gee,
rattling up and
Coffee
then
machine over there?
I just don't have
They were happy when I lost mine.
So this is just our monthly update of the treatment plant. In January, our average gallons per day 40,240, which is 70% of hydraulic design. For the next day, 192,806, which was 96% of hydraulic design. So we're staying pretty close to the same every month now. As the rest of the people move into Mission Gardens, that's going to increase. They're obviously building 4 homes on 12th Street, so as we move along, it's gonna start increasing steadily. As previously discussed, we fixed the liner at the treatment plant. Once it's finally full, we will put the area back in. Currently, we're working with USDA on getting our reports into their particular format so that their engineer can review it and we can get a final determination on grant funding and loan funding from the USDA. Based on a notice of interest that we sent out to it's CFCC, I forget what it's for. It's basically a consortium of different lending agencies and funding groups. We sent that out and we've gotten two replies so far, one from another lending agency who I've not contacted because they just replied on Monday, and one from DFA, and DFA is interested in continuing our grant funding for construction. So once our plans are done, then we can finalize the process with them to get up to $6 million in grant funding.
Yeah.
How much exactly that'll be will depend on exactly how many of their little boxes we can check when it wins.
Okay.
However, to have a fairly good conversation with their representative in regards to what we're trying to do and what our intent with our construction drawings is to meet as many people's goals as possible and qualify for as much as possible. And she assured me that the track that we were on with our initial grant funding through DFA was going to meet all their requirements for construction funding. So I think we're in a good position to get a lot of grant funding, or we were still going to have a large loan. USDA is pretty positive about providing a loan, but it will not be. They wouldn't be able to provide a loan for the full amount, so we would have to make it up with grant funding, which is obviously our goal in the first place.
Were they entertaining the idea of rolling the water tank into the same financing?
So at this point, we have to finish our conforming our reports into their format so that they can assess what they feel is the base project. And then once we have that, they can assess whether or not they would have enough money, or we would qualify for enough of a loan to roll that tank loan into it, or as originally discussed with USDA, whether or not we roll the sewer line lining project and manhole replacement and lining project into the treatment plant in order to get the most benefit for our loan dollar or else. So that's still on the table. It's just a matter of whether or not USDA will be able to help us with that. However, in that aspect, I forget the person you were talking to.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right now for you.
She indicated that we might be able to do some sort of a combined loan
CSD.
and lower the interest rates.
We
for
need
those
another
projects.
coronavirus though, because right now interest rates are at a rock bottom and they contributed to the market reaction. And it's down to like 1.3, it's still going down, but it's not gonna stay there. Combining our USDA with the tank and then whatever Kelly's pursuing, is potential to bring it all into one, so it's back to one deal at a better rate.
Okay.
So we just have to spread another virus.
We've done enough spreading the viruses. We're
No.
One more pandemic, we'll be there.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions,
Doing that.
otherwise we'll be going back to the water board probably review where we're at and provide any other recommendations. Finally, the other last comment, I guess, is that the state is in a current process of updating all wastewater permits as a general order for any plants that are over 100,000 gallons. So that will actually help us solidify what we're going to have to meet requirement-wise. Right now, they're just giving us a general idea of what we have to have because they don't want to say anything. But that will probably be out by the end of the year. So by the time our plans are done, we'll have a firm answer on what we're required to have from the state, which will help us in the end with any guesswork that may have been before.
Board comment? Any public comment?
Nope.
Nope. Okay,
I think we got it.
thank you for the reports. We got any other final board comments before we adjourn?
I have two. I will wait until everyone else is done.
Okay,
I would just like to ask that staff keep in the back of their mind about this possibility of our gaining the Mission Street property for office space. I think that's an awesome opportunity. I still believe that putting office space in the backside of our neighborhood is inappropriate. Judging from the number of people that we reached, I don't think that we reached anybody. And Mike even pointed out a good point that, you know, people come pay their bill and they, you know, now they're in town.
so we can repurpose a trailer for the firefighters over there across the street. Boom,
It's
done.
25 foot wide.
Bam.
Right?
Look at
Not a
that.
bad
I'm
idea.
just glad it's catching on.
So the one comment with that, just to add, I think that would be a great idea, is if we were able to build something downtown. The one thing with any tax lien property is that once we take possession of it, we have to hold it for a year.
Didn't do anything.
Without,
That would
we
be-
can do something on it, but it's at our risk, because if the previous property owner has a year to come back and pay the property tax, and then they can reclaim the property. So,
You're such a ray of sunshine.
I'm just saying that, you know, we would have to wait for a year. It doesn't mean that we couldn't start planning a building.
The county has.
To be honest with you, behind Dollar General's not a bad place for office space either.